Bonjour, Français Anne. Let's get going with Lesson 7. Okay, this should look familiar to you because look at these verbs. We know these verbs. Let's do a little practice with pronunciation and see if we can remember what they mean. Chanter, to sing. Danser, to dance. Dîner, to eat dinner. Écouter, to listen. Étudier, to study. Jouer, to play. Manger, to eat. Nager, to swim. Parler français, to speak French. Regarder, to watch, usually used with regarder la télé, to watch TV. Téléphoner, to call. Travailler, to work. Voyager, to travel. Don't get these two mixed up. Remember, travailler is to work. Voyager, to go on a voyage, is to travel. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes? Qu'est-ce que tu n'aimes pas? Take a couple minutes and write some sentences in the space below on your packet. Which of these things do you like to do, and which things do you not like to do? Moi, j'aime chanter et danser, et j'aime parler français. Mais je n'aime pas tellement étudier, et je n'aime pas travailler. Now you do the same. We're going to add to this list of words that we already know with a few new ones. Here's some new verbs. Class, it's also on page 95. Répétez après moi. Aimer. Habiter. Inviter. Organiser. Visiter. Now, I'm guessing from looking at several of these that you can probably also guess what they mean. We already know aimer, yes? Aimer means to like or to love, depending on how you say it. J'aime or j'aime. I like or I love. Habiter means to live in a place. J'habite à Saginaw. Inviter means to invite someone. Could you tell? It looks the same. Organiser, to organize or to plan, like to plan a party. And visiter, I think you guys can use your noggin and guess this one, to visit. Voilà. Super bien. Now, again, you can talk about things you like or don't like to do. J'aime organiser les booms. J'aime visiter Paris ou les musées, etc. J'aime inviter mes amis, etc., etc. But we're going to take these verbs and go one step further. Instead of just saying what you like to do or what you don't like to do, now we're going to be able to say what you are doing. I am planning a party for this weekend. Or I am speaking French. Je parle français. Let's take a look at how we do that. Class, in order to use a verb in a sentence, you must conjugate. We already know how to do this with être. Think back to last week. Je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Each subject, each person who's doing the verb has its own form of the verb. And these regular ER verbs are no different. To use an ER verb in a sentence, to conjugate an ER verb, here's what you do. Je parle. Tu parles. Il parle. Elle parle. Nous parlons. Vous parlez. Il parle. Elle parle. Each subject, je, tu, il, gets its own version of the verb, its own spelling of the verb. And it's really not that difficult once you break it down. This is, of course, the verb parler. In its purest form, we call this form the infinitive. This is the form of the verb that means to speak or to talk. When you conjugate it, when you use it like this, je parle, that means I am talking or I am speaking. Or I speak French. Je parle français. what did we change about the spelling of the word compared to the infinitive? The infinitive is the original form. It's the OG verb. What did we change about it? The ending is just an E. Class, when you conjugate a regular ER verb, you start with the infinitive, drop this ER, get rid of that ending, and then you add the new endings depending on what the subject is. So the new ending for je is an E, je parle. The new ending for tu is an ES, tu parle. For il parle, it's an E. For elle, same. Il and elle are always going to be the same. Elle parle. Bounce on over here to nous parlons. Look at that. The new ending for nous is ONS. For vous, class, let me tell you, conjugating vous is easy. Get it? Easy. Vous parlez is how that's pronounced. And then il parle, the ending is ENT, but in true French fashion, they do not pronounce that ending. It sounds like this, il parle. Elle parle. Sounds the same as over here when the ending was just an E. But to spell it and use it in a sentence, it's ENT. Same thing for the verb chanter. Let's take a look at that infinitive. To sing, chanter. But when you use it in a sentence, I sing, he sings, we all sing, it looks like this. Je chante. Tu chantes. Il chante. Elle chante. Nous chantons. Vous chantez. Il chante. Elle chante. All of the verbs from our list of vocabulary do the same thing. All of the verbs that we have learned so far have the same conjugations. So, you could go on to conjugate jouer. Je joue. Tu joues. Il joue. Elle joue. E-E-S-E. And then over here, nous jouons. Vous jouez. Il joue. Elle joue. O-N-S-E-Z-E-N-T. Here's the verb aimer, same thing. J'aime, tu aimes, il aime, elle aime. Nous aimons, vous aimez, ils aiment, elles aiment. Here are your endings, E, E-S-E, O-N-S-E-Z-E-N-T. And wait, there's more. Je regarde la télé, tu regardes la télé, il regarde la télé. Nous regardons la télé. Vous regardez la télé. Il regarde la télé. Voyez? Travailler does the same thing. Étudier does the same thing. Guess what, class? I have a song. Here is the song to help you remember the endings for these verbs. All of the ER verbs can apply to this song, can use this song to help remember the endings. So let's look at the endings one more time. We have E, E-S, E, O-N-S, E-Z, E-N-T. And the song goes like this. E-E-S-E-O-N-S, E-Z-E-N-T. E-E-S-E-O-N-S, E-Z-E-N-T. Ta-da! That will help you to remember how to spell all of these verbs that we have learned so far. So you can talk about watching TV, working, studying, playing a game, liking something, disliking something. Now there are a couple verbs that have some petites différences, little differences, and we need to talk about it. The first one is manger. This is the verb in the infinitive form, manger, which means to eat. And when you use it in a sentence, you drop the ER and you say je mange, tu manges, il mange, elle mange. It's just like the song. E-E-S-E, what is going on? What? Do you see the difference here? It's not just O-N-S. It's E-O-N-S for manger. And the reason why is pronunciation. Yep, It has nothing to do with the meaning of the word. It's all for the sake of pronouncing this verb, nous mangeons. Because the letter G in French is a G sound, unless it's followed by the letter E. If it's followed by the letter E, like manger, je mange, tu manges, il mange, it's going to be a G sound without this E. So, instead of saying nous mangeons, which just does not sound right at all, we add the E and we say nous mangeons. But look at the rest, they're all the same. Manger, vous is easy. Il mange, ENT. Elle mange, ENT. This is the only one that changes. We've got another verb that we know that's just like this. It's the verb nager, to swim. Je nage, tu nages, il nage, elle nage. Nous nageons. See that E? So it can't just be the ONS ending. It has to be EONS with these two verbs. D'accord? Can you think of a third verb you know that would follow this rule? What these two verbs have in common is they are GER verbs. Manger, nager. Is there another verb we've learned that has a GER? Voyager. So voyager is going to follow the same rule. Nous voyageons, EONS. Okay, super bien, class. So now you have a little time to work on these. What I recommend is you start by quizzing yourself. See if you can do these on your own. What's he doing? What's he doing? How about the fish? He's eating his hamburger, so you would write in the blank, il mange. Spell it with just the E at the end. Same thing here. Well, I'll go to this guy right next to him. He's playing. Il joue. Just with the E at the end. Do that for the rest of these. They're all il. But when you move to the next spot, what are all these people doing? We have some different subjects. So what are your endings for je? What's the ending for nous? What about vous or elle? Put the verb in the blank, but conjugate the verb. Make sure you use the correct ending that goes with the verb in the picture. We'll do one together. Je regarde. Je regarde la télé. C'est facile, n'est-ce pas? Okay. And then finally, we have a little bit of translation. You're reading the French and translating to English. What does it mean if someone says, je chante dans la chorale? Il aime le hockey. Nous étudions le français. Vous regardez un film. Take some time to translate those into English by using your noggin and using your vocabulary. And once you get that done, class, you're well on your way to learning these verbs, to being able to say so many more things en français. Keep it up. Work hard. À bientôt. Au revoir.